This is Fieldsports Channel News. Shooters are hoping that a change in trade rules between EU and non-EU countries could stop the accidental ban on imports of game birds. The new agreement sees a surveillance period and restrictions for exporting poultry out of the EU following a confirmed case of avian influenza reduced from 90 days to a minimum of 30 days. While poultry breeds all year round, DEFRA appears not to know that pheasants and partridge only breed once a year. Its failure to sign off this form in 2022 led to a significant loss of imported birds, with millions of birds destroyed at source. The European Commission has now published details of new arrangements, which come into force on the 6th of February 2023. Dominic Bolton of Aim to Sustain welcomes the changes. He says it will help ensure smooth trade between the EU and UK.
It's important to remember that the 30 days is a minimum, not an absolute time frame, and many zones do take longer than 30 days before they get lifted. But this is a step in the right direction and offers a ray of hope for the shooting sector.
The Scottish Parliament has passed its latest Hunting with Dogs bill. After 7 years of debate, the new legislation replaces the 2002 Scottish ban on hunting with hounds, which antis now admit they got wrong. The Countryside Alliance says the new law is driven by a continuing political obsession with fox hunting. The law allows unlimited number of dogs in beating lines as long as no more than 2 dogs come together at any time, as well as creating confusion about rough shooting. It licenses packs of hounds and bans trail hunting. The Scottish Gamekeepers Association says it is vital that licences are obtainable and workable. Jake Swindles of the Countryside Alliance says the Scottish Government admits that dogs are necessary for wildlife management.
We've said all along that this bill is unnecessary, but the Scottish Government have clearly accepted that the use of packs of dogs is vital when it comes to the protection of livestock and our conservation efforts. The new Act will be supported by guidance, and the Minister has repeatedly stated that this will be created with full engagement from rural stakeholders. We didn't want this legislation, but it's encouraging that we appear to have a workable system so that most practitioners can carry on with these important land management methods.
Rural campaigners are outraged that the City of Edinburgh has signed up to a treaty to impose a vegan diet. The treaty calls for schools, hospitals and nursing homes to move to plant-based meals. Members of the Scottish Parliament have also raised concerns about the decision by the City Council. They say it's a slap in the face for Scotland's farmers. A private member's bill to ban the importing of hunting trophies into the UK has passed another stage in the parliamentary process. Conservative MP Henry Smith took to social media to celebrate getting his bill through the committee stage. The Crawley MP is trying to push through the law as a private member's bill. It was originally a Conservative manifesto pledge. It's now reached the report stage, which means it will be considered by MPs on the floor of the House. Big game hunters and conservationists oppose the bill, saying it will damage the communities and wildlife that depend on the income from hunting.
Hunting as a land use, yes, takes the lives of select animals, old male animals. But there are thousands of animals that survive, that prosper, that grow populations right here because the land use provides value for them to remain on the ground.
A video on YouTube shows a confrontation between antis at a meet at the Grove and Rufford Hunt in Nottinghamshire. Antis sprayed a hound with a substance thought to be citronella. A supporter of the hunt confronted a Sheffield hunt saboteur and pleaded with them for a sample to give to the vet for a toxicology report. The antis refused. The hound later had to be put down. This is not the first time it has happened. Antis killed another hound with citronella in 2018.
And the hounds care about foxes and
but you don't care about hounds or horses.
And justice and the law.
Stalkers shot a record number of wild deer in Ireland in 2021 and 2022. The National Parks and Wildlife Service say that the stalkers shot more than 55,000 deer under licence, up by almost a quarter. The bulk of the animals came from 6 counties: Wicklow, Cork, Waterford, Tipperary, Kerry and Galway. The Irish Deer Commission, an organisation made up of hunters and conservationists, say the statistics do not take into account an increase in poaching and believes this may account for thousands more deer killed. The lead guitarist of Queen, Brian May, says he will not play Glastonbury because of the festival's links with badger culls. Festival founder Michael Eavis is a dairy farmer and supports the badger cull. May says he regards badger culling as an unnecessary crime against wildlife. Evis has previously criticised May's view on culling as a danger to farming. Deer farms and even deer parks in the Netherlands are facing a ban on breeding from their animals or selling them. From the 1st of January 2024, the government is ordering all 250 deer farms and deer parks in the country to cease breeding the animals. Minister of Agriculture, Piet Adema, says he believes that the animal is meant to run free. He does not explain how male and female deer which run together in deer parks will stop breeding. The government is cracking down on pet ownership as part of its animal rights agenda. It has produced a new list of which animals can be kept as pets, and fallow and red deer are not included. The Teachers' Union in Malta wants to stop children learning about hunting and shooting. However, Education Minister Clifton Grima supports the idea through a hunting club to hold a series of exhibitions in schools across Malta and the neighbouring island of Gozo. He says children should be exposed to all parts of the country's cultural heritage. The Malta Union of Teachers claim the educational initiative could counteract messaging about what it calls conservation. And finally, Twitter locked a bird charity out of its platform after it posted about woodcock. The British Trust for Ornithology lost access to its account after messaging followers about the bird, which is thought to have triggered pornography filters at the social media giant. 8 days later, Twitter relented and reinstated the BTO. It is now scared that it could be banned for posts about tits and shags. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.